What's going on, guys? Welcome to Wipe Day yet again. If you guys are looking to join the server after this upcoming update, I would look in the description down below and make sure you're ready, because last time we had a 60-man queue into the server, so just be ready to join the server if you are looking to play day one. So I am going to be doing my weekly base tour slash server tour that you guys did kind of like in the last one. Most of you guys said that you would like to see more of this on every single wipe. This base that you're seeing right now is my base, so I'll be explaining the base a little bit more as we go around, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the basic shape that most people go for, a little bit different, a little bit of change on my end. We're going to be building maybe a little bit smaller next time, a little bit more compact, but a little bit more defensible. I've been learning a little bit more about building as I've been building a lot more often, so let's just get into it. So I'm right here. Hello, this is my base. This is the front entrance, which actually leads out towards the water, which is more convenient than you could believe. If we came out on the other side, we probably would get sniped from this hill over here. We did have plans on putting a sniper tower up there, but at the end of the day, we literally only got raided once, and that was about day 2. So when you first go in, you can obviously hear the turrets. We have 4 of them throughout the base. This one is usually on as well. I don't even think this one's loaded, and I'm probably not even authorized on it, to be honest. No, I am. And just a little drop bin with random crap. These are our colors that we wear: the white pants, the orange shirt, and just a little drop chest, random crap, and then the turret right there. It's kind of like a staging room. It wasn't meant to be like a really defensible position. It was mainly just so when we were all running out on a raid, we wouldn't have to meet out front. We could just meet in our front area. So you go in, you got an armored door, you got sheet metal, and then you also have this armored door that leads into another turret. But if you actually continue going left, you're going to see that this leads over to another area, which is our furnace house. So this was completely covered up. 2 furnaces inside, our hemp farm and everything. Corn, drop chest again, and then just a whole bunch of shenanigans going on in here. And if you go out here and you jump in, we had more bins with more materials, and the stairs are right here to get up. And I don't even think I have the code for this door, but that's fine. A lot of the doors got placed down. I haven't been on the server in about 36 hours. I've been busy the last couple days. This is our shooting gallery, as you can tell. This wraps all the way around. So you can see that this wraps around the entirety of the entire house. Entirety of entire. And it can shoot in every single direction besides the front. But if you're trying to shoot in the front, you have this hatch right here, which I am authorized on because I was online when we put this one in. And this leads out to our shooting floor. I don't know. Somebody had a sign, but somebody painted it over in black. I'm not sure why. And, yeah, this is kind of our shooting floor. That way we can shoot the edges of our walls. We have these triangles sticking out. We have these windows to dance around. These trees are usually broken down and taken inside by now, but obviously being wipe day, it's pretty quiet. Nobody's really on. Close this door real quick. And, yeah, it was kind of like a thing where you could go over here. You can dance around the outside if you need to shoot someone. If you're at the window and you need to get back, you can pop back here. We did have a chest back here, but it seems like it was removed or something happened to it. Maybe somebody jumped up here and broke it. It had some basic medical supplies if you ever got shot out here. Generally, this was only used when nakeds were coming and mic spamming. We would just kind of come here and just shoot them in the freaking head. So that's pretty much it for the shooting gallery. Let's go back to the front to easily better explain how this works. So armored door again, sheet metal, very honeycombed, lots of doors, and this is going to lead into the main area where there's another turret. This was the first house that we ever made, this 3x3, and we didn't make it. We actually stole it, if you guys saw the first episode of this wipe. And yeah, this is kind of how it's built, just tons of doors, and then we have a hatch system. This is where our anti-raid floor came in. So you blow in through here, or you blow in through the floor. We have a turret there, turret there. I think this is Murph. Murph can't get up because he doesn't have he's building block because he wasn't online when we first placed it. But this is kind of our anti-raid floor. The only way to pretty much get up is to be able to build here. And that's the way we did it. Shit, I am all out of wood. Murph, do you have wood? Please? No, but he's got thousands of metal fragments that he didn't bring up. That's fine. This leads to our shooting floor, like I said before. Just kind of easy access, much easier. You need building privilege to get up, but obviously for the time being, I'm just going to do this. And then we had this hatch right here, which leads to a floor filled with bins with literally nothing but junk inside. Never mind, we have a lot of stone, a lot of water, food. It seems like kind of the junk bin floor. Nothing really crazy. Obviously, being last day, This is where all the sleepers were. Obviously, being last day, most people were probably just throwing things in whatever bins they wanted to. Originally, we had signs for this floor, but essentially this is just like a big locker room with a ton of bins that you can go into and store whatever you need. This was guns and ammo. Not sure what we have left. I think we have pretty much everything left. Tons of guns, tons of ammo. Most of our materials seem like they're downstairs. We probably have a whole bin filled with metal and food galore, medical supplies, tools, and then junk. And then we have a piece of C4. I didn't even notice. Somebody must have got it out of an airdrop. All right. And then if we go this way, I actually need some food now that I think about it. Here we are. Pork is the best. Everybody knows that. Oop. And we go out here, and this is what I call the penis. I'm going to show you why I call it the penis. Pretty self-explanatory. It's very phallic in nature. It is the penis. And essentially, it just was going to be going over to another like sniper tower. Essentially, this was just going to be a flat thing. We were going to build it out. Tons of windows, very open, just easy to snipe out and towards satellite as well as towards our neighbors. Our neighbors right here that looked like they actually may have got raided or somebody built that there. It slowly became very cluster and claustrophobic in that area. Thank God nobody built on our little peninsula because that would have been quite annoying. So yeah, that's pretty much the base. This is completely just 100% honeycomb. There's no floors on this thing whatsoever. So this was the base that we were living in. Again, we only got raided once, and that's probably for good reason because we built up pretty damn quickly. Usually day 1 I play about 12 hours, day 2 I play about 8, and then it starts to dip off as the week goes on. Again, this server does wipe weekly, every single Thursday, XP and the map, so yeah. If you need to get things done and want to raid big bases, you kind of need a big group, but that's kind of how this game works now. I'm going to be heading out, and I'm going to be finding some of the bases that deserve recognition on the server. A lot of big bases that have popped up around time. There are some huge, literal compounds on the opposite side of the map. I think we might be keeping the 3K size. 3K size seemed perfectly fine for this wipe as well, so I will return in just a moment. So here's base 1 that deserves recognition on the server. This is, I believe, Joe Studs and Company's Vengeance, a few others. They were our allies in pretty much this situation. If they were getting raided, we would come over and help them from the outside. And if we were getting raided, vice versa. And if we were going to raid, they would help with counter raids. And if they killed people during the counter raids, we split the gear. It was just kind of an ally system, mainly because we had 2 of the biggest groups on the server. But at the same time, we'd only have like 2 or 3 players on at the same time. The most I have ever seen on in my group at one time is 5, and you see that in most videos. And a lot of the time, counter raids do get a little dangerous. It seems like they have the sniper tower, very honeycombed. People would get stuck inside if they ever built up. Again, not going to show the inside because I don't want to like foil the way that they built, but this is a cave, if you guys didn't know. Again, also, I believe on wipe day 1 of this wipe, or wipe day 2, we actually were shooting at them. They were one of the people that we chased off in this direction, if you remember correctly. And yeah, it turned out to be kind of an allied thing. We don't know if we're going to ally with them in the next server. We never know. It just really comes down to whoever's the biggest nuisance in the area. And since they built so close, I thought it would be a great idea to ally with them. And it turned out pretty good. Really, nothing even came of the allyship besides that one raid that you guys saw, and nobody even came to counter raid anyway. So let's go on, see some other buildings on the server as well. Here's one of the compounds that I was talking about. These guys pretty much just built as much and everything in between as they possibly can. And their base was pretty damn epic from what I'm seeing. So they obviously had these outer buildings that seemed like they were probably furnace houses. I wouldn't doubt it if they all had furnaces inside, as well as sniper towers, like a combination of both. And there could be multiple people. I didn't personally see any of these guys running in or their base. We really didn't come over to this area too often anyway. We generally stuck to the satellite area. But it seems like they had all these sniper towers, and then this was like the main head honcho building surrounded by tons of high external walls, sniper towers, hatches, everything. This is another secondary large building. Just one of the huge compounds on the server. Kind of looks like a temple. Pretty sweet. I remember when they were actually building this when it first popped up. Day 1, they had pretty much this built minus the high external. So they definitely knew what they were doing. It's a very original design from what I see. If we look at it from the above, it doesn't seem like they did any of the foundation bugs, but there could have been a few foundation bugs going on in there where they could do 1 or 2 doors on one doorway. So it's pretty cool. Really awesome base, really cool compound. Not sure who built it again, but one of the biggest on the server during this wipe. Here is one of the crazier builds that I actually saw on the server. Again, with the foundation bug, pretty much where you can put foundations very close together. Look at the honeycomb on this base. You would never want to raid this crap. Pretty basic shape, pretty easy. But at the same time, if you saw the honeycomb from above, you would never want to touch the base. You could probably see from the cracks behind their high externals that you would never want to attack this house just by the way it's built. So that being said, it deserves some relative recognition. Also, the front of the house was pretty cool, the way I saw it, with the foundation, the stairs up to this gate that also led inside the house. Not sure why they did that. Maybe it's just the way that the honeycomb worked and how they had to go in. I'm not sure about the other side's door. The other side's door pretty much just went straight in. I do like the way how they did the gate and then the main door. It's just kind of cool. So I just thought it deserved some recognition as well. Little bit of recognition for this maze of a house that I just flew over and have never seen before. That just looks like absolute AIDS that nobody would ever want to raid either. Honestly, I don't know how the hell they did this, but they figured it out and they did it. That is really cool, and I give you props for this really cool shaped house. I like these kind of original shapes. They make more sense to me. If you guys remember back in the day when I had my video titled A Roam Through Ghetto Town, I believe, this was pretty much the ghetto town of the server. As you can tell, house, 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 and then Springfield. So if you were roaming through this area, you were generally getting yourself into a bow fight or a killing war. As you can see, there's a naked right there as well on wipe day running around. This was the area that, like the bad part of town that you didn't want to roam through, and this was it. If you lived in this area and you had guns, you were gonna have fun the entire time. So honestly, this pretty much happens on every single server I've ever made, and I assume that it happens on a lot of servers just based on the fact that it's so close to Springfield. It's got the water right there in the valley, and it's got plenty of trees and rocks to gather. So again, just thought I'd point it out. Here's another one of those many compounds that I was talking about. It seems like this one is a little bit more retained, a little bit smaller. Maybe they didn't get to a higher level to actually be able to do stone high externals, but wood ones work just the same. So this house is not tame whatsoever. It is literally what I would call AIDS when it comes to building, because of just the way that the honeycomb works. And they probably had, I believe it's called fire chutes, that you can go up and down on the inside a lot of the time, pretty much being impossible to raid. Seems like they actually may have got raided though, right there. And this is what a fire chute looks like. It's that close together, and you can actually jump up those if you know how. And yeah, it just was kind of cool. Also, multiple buildings. They had an entrance here, probably a gate that got burnt down. I'm not sure what's inside here. Maybe there was a plan of some sort with that, or maybe somebody blocked themselves in with gear. I don't really know. That's Raba's house. I'm not sure if any of the other ones are named, but pretty cool, and I thought I'd give it some recognition again. Here's another unique cave base that you don't see very often. The way that this is built is pretty ridiculous. They made walls without actually having high externals, and this is a cave. Like, you wouldn't really even be able to tell just running by it, but it is indeed a cave. It seems like they had some outer walls where they would store some gear. Most of the gear was probably inside the cave. They had the farm in the center. They had 3 furnaces on the outside. Honestly, pretty nutty. And this is, again, one of those bases that you kind of look at and you're just like, I'm not raiding that shit. Like, after a point, you're just going to be so confused on what the hell is going on that you're not even going to want to raid it anymore. I've been seeing a lot more original cave-based designs on my server. The last one, obviously, I had a cave base. It was pretty self-centered. Just go straight to the back, and you would have all the gear. Here, probably the same instance, but the outside definitely looks a little bit different than most bases that I've seen, especially with all the firing windows and everything. Pretty nutty, pretty nutty. Here's another really large house. Very different. These are their furnace houses. Very oddly shaped, but really cool looking. Seems like this was some kind of raid, anti-raid tower. No stuff. Place, public place, I assume. And this is kind of like they had these chutes that would jump out if you needed to exit the building quickly. And honestly, it's just kind of originally shaped. It seems like they have a whole bunch of twig inside, but that twig probably leads to like nothing. Probably just reinforced metal on the outside. Never expected to get raided. Really original shaped again. I'm not sure if they had a way to the top floor. Of course they had a way to the top floor. The very unoriginal little 3-circle building design that a lot of people have worked with and on, but they did have this little weird triangle thing in the center that most people don't do. And then, of course, they had this little ladder thing where they could easily take ladders to the top floor from the dead center of the base. That's pretty cool. Another one of the ones. I believe there's one more base on the server. I need to fly around and find it. I have no idea where it is, but it was a massive compound in progress on day 1, and I can't imagine how big it is now. I cannot find the compound for the life of me, but this was another really cool base that I saw. I've actually ran by this one several times on my way just looking for shit to shoot at, but really just high external walls, square base. But the thing that I saw to be most original that I didn't see from before was this, kind of like the way that they have their furnace house. They just had little triangle foundations lead down to a door that led to a hatch that probably led to their furnace and also an exit out of their base. Honeycombed, probably the shit. Really annoying. Could also be on the foundation bug as well, but there's really no way of telling from up here. Could be internally. But just another really cool base that we saw on the server. But this was probably... I liked Last Wipe a lot better. There's something about the map on the last wipe that I didn't like. But there's something about this wipe that it seemed like a lot of the time it wasn't pure action. A lot of the time it was people kind of like eco-raiding and nobody really doing anything nutty. So... but we'll see how the next wipe is. Again, we wipe weekly, Thursday, XP and the map, and we will be having fun yet again with another wipe. You guys are going to be seeing either like a bow combat video, like where I did last week, today, or possibly tomorrow. This is the base that we raided in the last video, and just down here is my base. This is one of the bases we raided as well with satchels, and then there's this neighbor's base, and then this is our base. So... again, if you need some information on joining the server, it is 3 times XP, completely vanilla past that point, just to make it so it's not as AIDS and annoying. But if you guys are looking to join, check the description, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Going to be doing these weekly, just giving some recognition for the bigger builds on the server. Build original if you want to be in the video as well, because you don't really see a lot of original builds anymore. A lot of the time people are copying all those videos and... tutorial videos on how to do X, Y, and Z, and it just kind of is, hey, Mr. Piggy, how the fuck did you get down here? A lot of people follow the tutorials and just kind of gets lame. I generally don't like to. Like, this thing is an ugly piece of shit, but good luck getting through it, unless you have a ton of C4 and you know where the building cabinet is. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Adios.